Are you afraid to fail spectacularly? I mean, who even puts those two words together? Why would we want to fail spectacularly? Well, I will admit I didn't put them together myself. I got it from a movie. Shirley MacLaine's new movie, Last Word. It's a great movie where she's contemplating the end of her life and what her obituary will be and what people will say about her when she's gone. And in that, she talks about failing spectacularly, that every time she failed, she had some big opening, some big success that came after that. And it really got me thinking. I am a very daring and adventurous person, and yet I hate the idea of failing. I'm Brenda, Florida, life coach and lifestyle advisor, and we're going to talk about this concept of failure today. I mean, I've written myself in several blogs that you can find on my website, brendaflorida.com. If you go to my blog page, you can just search by the keywords or tags of failure. And because I'm so hard on myself when I fail. And this is not one of my favorite qualities about myself. And maybe by writing and talking about this, I will help liberate myself, right, to my own wisdom. That's what I like to do as a coach, is liberate others to their own wisdom. And so I will turn that on myself and try to liberate myself to my own wisdom, because I know the truth is there's no such thing as failure. Every time we have something that we might think of or feels like a failure in the moment, ends up creating our next breakthrough, right? Our next real aha moment. We don't often have aha moments when life is easy. So while I love to be adventurous and I love to take risks, I'm very hard on myself when that risk doesn't turn out the way I planned on it. So it got me thinking when I heard this line in the movie about failing spectacularly. I just thought, yes, that's what I want to say yes to in the coming days and years of my life, is to say I'm willing to fail spectacularly, because you know what? I know every time I fail spectacularly, I have an enormous growth spurt, whether that's personally, professionally, financially. The funny thing is, I was thinking back about this the other day, and I realized that every time I have had what in my life I have often described as a failure, or others maybe look at me and say, oh, well, she failed there. That was a setback, big failure professionally or financially. Every time I've had my next big leap to my next level of both income earning and my professional status, or whatever you want to call it, a better job, a bigger business, anything like that, however you want to word that, they've all come on the tails of some sort of failure, quote unquote. And it reminded me of the two most successful self-made business people I happen to know, who are multi millionaires. Both said to me the same thing within the time of about 6 months, maybe. This was several years ago, but these were separate conversations. These two people do not even know each other, and I don't even remember why this came out in our conversation, but both of them said to me almost the exact same thing, and so it's always stuck with me. They both said that they attributed much of their success to the fact that they were simply more willing to fail than many of their competitors. So they just did more stuff, right? Because they weren't worried about everything they did being a success. They were willing to fail. So it meant they did more, and it meant they learned from each of the failures, right? Like, I love the idea of my coach training I took through Dr. Martha Beck, and I think she's a total genius. And one of the things she says often is cave early, right? As soon as you realize this is not working, then just let go of it. Stop, let it go, and learn the lesson. Because that's what all of these quote unquote failures are there to do for us. It's to teach us the lesson. So I love the idea of being brave enough to fail spectacularly. So I'd love to hear how this is for you. I want to hear if you failed and learned something really great. If you failed and got stuck there, that's okay. It happens to all of us. And if you've got a story like that, then I'll try to give you a little coaching tip maybe that will help you out of that or help you reframe it if it's something in the past. Because that's really what I love about working with coaching clients or doing coaching programs is that it's a way to help you liberate yourself to your own wisdom. I mean, that's what I've done. Much of my coaching practice and my coaching tools are things that while I've learned the tools and coaching training, I apply them to you in the same way I apply them to myself, right? That's how I know they work because I've used them. I've gotten myself out of some pretty serious pickles with these little coaching tools. So I'd love to hear what your story is and how you failed spectacularly and learned from it or maybe got stuck in it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.